Welcome, everyone. You know, every single year we always have you do the very last night, letters home. And I always ask you to say, like, you know, dear Mom at home, I loved, camp today, and what did you love the most about it? And also, what do you think we could add to make it better? And we've gotten some good suggestions from you guys over the years. And one of the suggestions that we get every single year is to do a healthy cooking class. Well, this was certainly the year to do that, due to the fact that I met this terrific guy who goes by Dr. Z. His name is Dr. Robert Zembroski, and he is a nutritionist. He's a board-certified neurologist. He has been my guiding light through dealing with chemotherapy. And when I look for a nutritionist to work with, I found Rob because he really specializes in helping people go through chemo, and people with ADHD and people with autoimmune problems. And I've kind of sailed through, I think I really have, through a very, very aggressive regimen of chemotherapy, mostly because I've been eating what Rob has had me eat. I remember the very first time he called me. And he said, I want to make sure that you're going to be on board with this. He said, this eating regimen, and this is not to say everybody has to go on my eating regimen, but just to let you know what I've been doing. He said, it's no grain, that's no bread, no dairy, no sugar. Now, I was a little silent on the other end because I think I was thinking, what's left? Like, what am I going to be eating? And he said, you're going to be eating every food that inhibits the growth of a cancer cell. And you're not going to eat any foods that promote the growth of a cancer cell. And unfortunately, the American diet is like the best fertilizer in the world for the growth of cancer. And he said, I'm going to change the neighborhood. He says, I'm going to change the terrain. But it's like where your cancer cells are living, we're changing the neighborhood. And they're going to say, whoa, where's the neighborhood I used to live in? But I'm going to tell you something else, and obviously this is the most important part of what he did for me, but he changed the outside as well. And he said, I'm going to change your body composition. And that is what, let me translate for you. You lose about 25 pounds. But I mean, I've been on other diets before, and I lost weight in a different way. This time, it's almost like we starved the fat cells, and all the fat just kind of like melted away, and I was left with this lean muscle. I've never had that happen before. I wish I would have gone to one of those places and they do that pinchy thing, and I wish I would have had my body composition. I wanted the before and after. So let's just talk for a moment about that fat that we carry around on us, because you have kind of a nice little demo to totally gross us out.
Be ready.
Where's your bag of fat?
So what I did when we started working with Joan,
it's grosser if you touch it or feel it.
Joan said to me, what do I eat if I'm not going to have bread, dairy, or sugar? And according to the research, the standard American diet really just is bread, dairy, and grains, bread, dairy, and sugar, and hydrogenated oils. So I said, what we want to do is create a personal food plan, not a diet plan, but a food plan for you that's going to make disease unfavorable to produce in the body, or we're going to change the internal terrain so we can get rid of the disease. And at the same time you're getting rid of disease, we're also going to change your body composition.
Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. I said to Joan, take a picture before. You're going to see what happens after. I don't know if you did, but
I did.
So the body composition. What I tried to say and educate or to teach you is divorce yourself from weight. Okay? Start thinking about the composition of the body, which is body fat and lean muscle tissue. Body fat and lean muscle tissue. So if somebody is 250 pounds of sheer muscle and 250 pounds of sheer body fat, that's the same weight, right? So if we focus on just losing weight, we kind of get into these fad diets, we get into these restrictive things, we skip our breakfast, our blood sugars get out of control, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, another fad diet that didn't work. So as I said to Joan, if you can just focus on the anti-inflammatory foods and eating the right signals, disease will improve or go away, and your body's composition is going to change. So I'm going to pass around what body fat really looks like in the human body. So I want you to just look at it, give it a little squeeze, and take a look.
Now, I will tell you that I came home after our first lesson, and I went through my pantry and started throwing out everything that had sugar or grain or dairy. So I was left about with three or four things in my pantry. I had these gigantic garbage bags that I just threw into the trash, and he took me to Whole Foods, and we bought food that I should eat. And that's part of the issue, of course, is that we test our willpower again and again and again and again and again all day long, like, should I eat it, should I not eat it? So I just took everything out of my house that I shouldn't eat and put the foods in, and surprisingly, I was left with a lot of stuff that I could eat, like actual real food, like fruits and vegetables, and he'll get into what kinds of meats and lean meats. And then it became a little bit of an easier task.
And I think that in my clinical experience, most people have a little frustration because they're focused so much on weight and not, one, their body composition, and two, people, if you take away 3 food sources, is that really all what we eat? I mean, is this the only thing we eat, bread, dairy, and sugar? I mean, there's fruits and vegetables and grass-fed meats and all the things that give us a variety of nutrients that run all the cells and genes in our body. So what we wanted to do today was just teach you a little bit about what foods are easy to prepare, super tasty, and will change the way the body works.